They're putting together some decent sets, which can't be easy. They have to be nervous. They had to be anxious going into the match. Last tackle. It's Moses this time. A little more conventional, the flight on this one. And Adokara's with it. And then Cameron Munster gets a push in the back. Yes, it is a little odd looking at Australia's left side. You go from 7 at 5'8" to the centre at 8 and the winger in 9. I mean, Chinese arithmetic is easier to understand.
It's very difficult, isn't it?
Holmes with the ball. We are watching from high up in the gantry here at John Smith Stadium on the opposite side of the dressing rooms. Liam Martin on this run. So much history in this town, the birthplace of rugby league, 1895. Yo and Mitchell, the kick through from Munster. The skinning ball can be tricky as well. And he is Karaz confident in his work bringing it back.
Yeah, it was a good defensive set, wasn't it, from Lebanon? They were only able to sort of concede 30 metres on that set, and the trade-off is this, isn't it? You know, you're almost, you play 2, play 3, and you just got to carry the ball, and you're going to be straight over the halfway line.
And across with Amos Miski, who has actually scored a try in all 3 pool games. So if Lebanon's to score, you're sort of thinking law of averages says he'll get another one.
Yeah, no, he's been in good form, hasn't he? You know, so the outside backs of Lebanon, they're the ones that have been doing an awful lot of damage in games. You know, a high number of metres. Amos Miski averaging 153 metres in his appearances in this World Cup. Certainly going to need a lot from them tonight at stages. You know, when the fatigue element starts setting into the game, and you get into that set-for-set grind that we're doing now, that's not a great kick either.
Moses and Dwayne here. Yeah. Moses was appealing that he was held back. There's no doubt they had hold of his jumper there. In a try-scoring situation, it's probably penalty. You know, if we went back, review, he was chasing a kick.
I just think they looked more threatening when they put the ball high and then competed for that rather than that little kick there through from Moses.
You'll see here Moses, the jersey is
yeah, you're right.
Not that he was probably going to get to it, but I mean, as I said, in a try-scoring situation, you come back penalty. There's Grant and Yo and Cleary just feeding it along. Crichton is the player on the left edge for Australia from the Sydney Roosters, coached by Trent Robinson. Now inside the 30-metre zone, we've got just a walk off the mark there. Now Grant, Cleary, Yo. He is the new age middle forward.
Yeah, he's quality, isn't he? He's like he's got it all. Isaiah Yo.
The Munster cut out in front of Mitchell. And Mitchell over the sideline. He released the ball, but the legs were already over. That is some matchup. The number 4 for Lebanon, just 19 years of age, Brad Morkos from the Canberra Raiders, has not played NRL. And here he is probably up potentially against one of his heroes.
Yeah, well, sometimes that brings the best game out of you. You know, when you're against it, you know, it'll almost be looking at him in a bit of awe, but also by giving him respect, he's giving him your best effort. And on that occasion, he's just able to drag him over the sideline. And young Morkos, he'll be pleased with that. They've defended quite well, haven't they, Lebanon, so far? We're 14 minutes into the game, and apart from the try from Josh Adokar, it's been pretty even, to be honest.
Absolutely no sign of Lebanon being overawed here. And I do think that's got a lot to do with the coach, Michael Checker. Man's man, simplifying things. Yeah. Got them ready for this one, as he's done in all 3 matches. 2 wins and a loss to New Zealand, where they were highly competitive. There he is, Michael Checker. Dwayne with this kick, under a bit of pressure from Harry Grant, not his best. And Valentine Holmes with the ball, bringing it back over the 20-metre line. Let's go down to the sideline, Cole. Jenna Brooks.
Yeah, Vossi, just speaking to Michael Checker ahead of this game in pre-match, I said to him, nobody expects Lebanon to beat Australia tonight. He said, hang on a second, every single one of my players that'll be out there tonight believe that they can. We have seen some of that belief, haven't we, Vossi?
We sure have.
Yeah, he's got to need that, isn't he? You know, he's just got to need everybody to give their absolute best effort in this game. And this is where it's getting threatening.
Tedesco is broken through, supports inside. Is there 2 Foxes out there? He is raiding the chicken coop. with a double in the opening 15.5 minutes. You don't often see Josh Adokar bob up in the middle of the field, but what a player to have in support.
Yeah, well, it just looked like it was almost like they just get all the outside backs in, holding it around the middle. You can see he could throw a blanket all over them. But we talked about big players stepping up. James Tedesco, 35 tackle busts so far, and he's just added a few more in there. What a special player he is. Just look how he gets in between players, keeps accelerating, the legs are still pumping, and has the presence of mind to supply that pass to Fox, who gets over for his second, and they've just ripped right through the middle of this Lebanon side.
Usain Bolt, where are you, my friend? Are you watching? He had a little dabble in the Australian football in the A-League there at one stage. Adokar, what an entertainer. What about his laugh? There's talk back in Australia that the team he plays for now, the Canterbury Bulldogs, they're talking about potential captain, Josh Adokar. That'd be entertaining.
Certainly would. Well, it's important that we have those sorts of characters in our game, isn't it? You know, he's a real fan's favourite all around the world. And that's his 8th try.
Highly controversial during the season. He was overlooked for the State of Origin series for New South Wales. So this is somewhat of redemption at representative level for the Fox. Cleary with his first success of the night, a 10-0 scoreline. We come to you from Huddersfield, the home of the Giants in the Super League. Well worth watching the try again. Adokar had played it, and then pushes up in support. It's quite brilliant, really.
It certainly is. You just see Kazi there rocking on his back of his heels, and Tedesco sees that, picks up, takes off, gets in between Kazi and Tassipali. And the damage is done then, isn't it? You just knew that as soon as he got a half a break, somebody would be there. And it was the Fox that popped up.
Oh, that's beautiful. I haven't seen that one from the Fox before.
Okay.
And short kick-off again. Great hang time on it. And that is a good catch from Mitchell, who straight away gets into a little bit of tackle-busting form as well. This time with Crichton. It's an Australian backline, actually, with the Excel. Oh, hello, that ball looked lost for Sul Malawi with it. With the exception of Adokar and Tedesco, they are playing out of position compared to where they play at club level. Martin on this inside run. Holmes out on the wing, is in the centres normally. Watton at centre as a 5'8" at Canberra. And Mitchell plays fullback for his club side, South Sydney. But you find places for great players. That used to be the approach of Bob Fulton as Australian coach. Cleary kicks. This one right to the corner, Carraz.
Great take.
What a talent. What a talent.
Super
the ball stripped by the master stripper. Munster, can you believe this? Adokar has a hat-trick. Oh, stop it. 18.5 minutes. He's gone bang, bang, bang. 3 tries.
Wow. A special 18 minutes it's been for him. 3 tries, like you said, 2 back-to-back straight away. It was a beautiful kick, wasn't it, from Cleary? He just lands it 5 metres shy of the try line. Carraz there just gets it stripped, doesn't he? Munster. And it's just a little catch and pass there on the end of it. And you're right, the Fox, a different celebration this time. But it's 3 in quick succession. And it's 14-0 with a kick to come.
It's almost not fair. The number of strips he's had over 20 in his NRL career. Probably the 2 best in Australia are Cameron Munster and Josh Hodgson's the other. He's very good. He's had a few injuries, but Munster's gone past him for
the strip.
Take this the right way, career strips. Ladies, Cameron's not available for parties. He's a stripper on the rugby league field.
Well, he just stripped them there, didn't he? And the Fox give us a little shimmy in the corner.
I hope to have pecs like that. So Cleary has a shot from the sideline. Hit the post. It was absolutely dead on from the point, his first kick. You can ride it home from behind the posts. Oh, Cleary's played it right.
Very short as well there.
He started indifferently against Italy as well, and I have no explanation for it, because he's such a sweet kicker. He's an 85% kicker in the NRL.
Well, that part of his game was bang on, wasn't it? Kick was exactly where it needed to be. Even if Carraz takes it, you know, the Australian forwards, they just tee off on the next play. But Munster, the stripper, other ideas.
Yeah, it's full Monty stuff, really. In the wrong town, though. There was a shot in Sheffield, wasn't it?
Sheffield, yeah.
So Australia with the ball now. And for Malawi, it is to come back. 4-0 scoreline. Quarter of the game gone. First of the fourth quarterfinals tomorrow. You can just kick back and watch England against Papua New Guinea. Into New Zealand against Fiji. And then on Sunday, what a game, Tonga and Samoa. Tedesco again, right up on the front line.
Just getting a little bit quick now, isn't it? Players poking the nose through. Grant kicks out from 9.
There's a good option as well from outside the 40. Carraz is back there. He's probably looking up. Where's that Munster bloke? Not on that side. But it is a warning shot. And every person who watches the NRL has to be aware of what Munster does. The teams are so in sync at pulling it off these days. There may be 2 or 3 in a tackle at one stage and they just peel away all of a sudden. Ram defence from the Australians on Mansour. Moses side. Ducked into the tackle. That's a little awkward. And oh boy, Mitchell gets a bit overzealous, I would have thought. Not sure whether that was necessary.
Lebanon are just trying to move the ball a bit, aren't they? They're just trying to get away from the heat of the middle of Australia. They're not forward as such, and it's a towering kick again.
Moses down to Tedesco, getting the ball. Yes, they lived together back early days with the West Tigers. There was James Tedesco, there was Mitchell Moses and Luke Brooks, who's still the West Tigers half. They were roommates. So quite a friendship. As opponents tonight, the 2 captains of these sides. What tally may Adokar finish with tonight? What a race for leading try scorer at the World Cup. Over to you, Dom Young. Zayo straight through the centre. Support is left at Holmes. He can't get it to him. Good chase back from Lebanon. Prevented the pass. Now Grant, an Australian side on top. Tedesco taking defenders with him to within centimetres of the line. Last tackle play. Whiten scoops it up out of there. Grant to Cleary to get it wider still. Munster holds it up. Here goes Mitchell. Adokar is there. Mitchell doesn't need him. It's almost unfair when Mitchell gets in a mood. He is one of the most damaging players in the world of rugby league.
Yeah, just too big, too strong on that occasion. Isaiah Yeo just breaking once again through the middle of this Lebanon side. They just haven't been able to cope over the last 10 minutes physically. We just see the break there from Isaiah Yeo, just shows one way and just slices straight through. And then from that, they move the ball from right to left. It's just width on it. Cleary skips past his opposition. And just Mitchell there, as soon as it's out the back, it's just too big, too strong. Mansour can't deal with him and he just dots the ball over for the 4th try of the evening.
Well, it's robbed Josh Adokar a 4th. He doesn't try to position himself, and this is the ability that he has. I mean, there are things he does on a football field that no other player can.
Yeah, no.
And as I said, when he's in a mood, yeah, he might have 5 big touches a game. And those 5 touches will produce 5 tries.
The special players, aren't they? You know, you're just seeing there, Morkos and Mansour tried the very best, but in the end, you know, the strength from Latrell Mitchell was just too much.
Kyle Moore is our expert commentator tonight, and I think he's loving what he's seeing at the moment.
Certainly impressive, isn't it, from Australia? And you still don't feel like they've actually... You still feel there's another 2 or 3 gears in this side for sure.
There's some cold humans sitting behind Nathan Cleary there watching this kick. He's got it, he's got it, he hasn't got it. Well, there is something wrong with Nathan Cleary's strike of the ball.
I think it's time you give it to Val Holmes at switcher kicker.
His right boot's been sabotaged. That is just not seen in the NRL from Nathan Cleary.
Oh, but look what he does there in the build-up to the try. Yes, you need to convert 4 into 6 as the competition goes on, but he's still an awfully good player, isn't he? Back-to-back grand final winner with the Penrith Panthers.
He'll turn 25 ahead of the final if Australia make it. Actually, as AEO celebrates a birthday here, it'll be a bit of a day out. Australians, they've got the recovery session tomorrow morning in Manchester. Changes made with Carrigan and Murray now out on the field. So just inside their own half, Australia. And Carrigan over halfway he goes. And there's some pretty serious post-contact meters there with that carry. And now again, Australia find themselves in a position, attacking zone. Left side is working tonight. Munster, Mitchell, early ball. Don't have to get too cute. Just give him a run and look what he does. Dummy from Cleary, kept alive and knocked on by Munster.
He just took his eye off the ball, didn't he, Munster? An offload back, he wasn't quite anticipating that was coming, but there's a penalty here and a relieving one as well for Lebanon. You know, looking into this game, you know, one thing that's pretty evident is the number of missed tackles that Lebanon are producing at the moment. They're falling off them.
Come a long way, Lebanon, by playing in this quarter-final. Even if they lose tonight, they are automatically qualified for the 2025 World Cup. And if you know the migrating population of Lebanon, there will be enormous support for Lebanon down in France.
Yeah, it's wonderful to see, isn't it? You know, we've got Lebanon, they've been working hard, haven't they? You know, they've got a terrific winner, sorry, in Malta in the mid-season, and you know, they've been working so hard with Michael Checker and all the coaching staff. You know, Matt King, Robbie Farah's in there, Jake Friend and all. We've got some quality coaches there, and they're just going to look to build on and make sure that they gear up towards 2025. The experience the players will get in this competition will certainly be, you know, brilliant for them.
Dwayne, nice pass along of Moses, and then Whiten again, aggressive defence there. They're packing a punch tonight, the Kangaroos defenders. Karaz really felt it that time. And Dwayne, strong ball carrier. Last tackle Lebanon, opportunity for points. Moses, kick deflection, play on. Referee Kendall says not played at. Oh, Lebanon not happy with that decision.
No, Molesy's just felt he could just thread the eye of the needle there.
No, they want to challenge it. Well, Moses is the captain. He was the one who put in the kick.
I think it was left foot, wasn't it?
We'll have a captain's challenge, and if they are successful, we'll have a set of 6 on the Australian line. Big call.
Video referee to match director, we've got a captain's challenge. Lebanon are challenging the decision of the 6th tackle, claiming that it's been played out by Australia. If you could show me your best angle following the kick from Mitchell Moses. Can we just see another angle on that, please? Isaiah Yeo is bracing himself for the tackle and not playing at the ball. The challenge is unsuccessful. It is tackle 6 and a handover.
Well, that's disappointing for Lebanon. Grant Atkins is the video referee. He said Yeo bracing for the tackle. Moses wants to go to a higher authority, having had the video referee overrule or support the decision on ground, not overruling. He planted his foot out there. I can still mount a little argument there. I don't think it's one to blow up about.
No, definitely not. The decision's being made. Lebanon, they've just got to focus on containing and defending better than that, because it's just another 10-15 metres after contact, isn't it?
The Penrith contingent, Martin, they have got a spoilt for choice for back rowers, Australia. Inside their own half, the Aussies, but I wouldn't think for long. There is Cameron Murray, one of those back rowers, South Sydney captain in the National Rugby League, coached by Jason Demetrio.
6 again called on that play earlier.
Carrigan makes the job a little harder of Lebanon. Harry Grant, alternate dummy half tonight is Cherry Evans. Beautiful ball there. Brighton off Cleary. Brighton through the tackle and able to offload. And Cameron Murray is over for the try. That was sweet from Nathan Cleary to unlock a door, and plenty ready to run through it.
Yeah, it certainly was. The ball movement, they've really liked this side of the field, haven't they? Moving it through your... Not to Cleary there, that wonderful line it was as well. But what about the offload here? It looked like he was always going to fall over there, and that pass is just gorgeous. Cameron Murray there, getting a try. And a wonderful line it was in the build-up.
Yeah, great stuff. They were former teammates at one stage of their careers at South Sydney. Crichton has moved on to the Sydney Roosters. Murray now at the helm of the Rabbitohs. And Murray, who scored his first test try last week against Italy, now has a second. I'll give a shout out to his mum, Angela. I'm not sure whether she's come across for the trip, but she would be a very proud mum tonight. That's your boy, because he's only 24, but you know, he's one of the best in our competition in the NRL as well. He's achieved a lot in a short space of time, and I think he's one, in some ways, he's one of the most respected players there. There's no crap about him at all.
Yeah,
Cameron Murray.
He does a lot of tough stuff, doesn't he? You know, 10 appearances for New South Wales as well. Shows you that 24 years old. A real tough player.
The scoreline blows out now. 24-0. Adokar, 3 tries. Mitchell, a try. And now another one of the South Sydney contingent scoring, Cameron Murray. And there it is.
But it was the line, wasn't it, from Crichton that done all the damage. The pass from Cleary as well. And, you know, 24-0 down. I do sense that this can turn into a blowout here tonight, Bossy.
Well, they do. We talk about in a mood. There has been an Australian side. Oh, that ball. Boy, oh boy, look out the first row. You'll lose your head in Huddersfield tonight. That ball was fired like it came out of a cannon. Have a look at this. You're sitting there having one of Huddersfield's finest, and you are suddenly in panic mode. Incoming. I don't know whether I've seen a ball go that hard over the sideline.
Well, Huddersfield Town, they play their football here, Vossi, and they would have been looking to sign him up off the back of that one.
Hey, what was happening there? So Carrigan with the ball. Slowing up to play the ball. They've got to try their best in that regard. It was like it was, and he wasn't pinged. Murray with another touch. They're just outside the 20. I can confirm from high up in Huddersfield, I think the halves are about 46 metres long. Now to Desco. But I can confidently say the 20-metre line is 20 metres out from goal. Beyond that is a little bit dodgy. Cleary with it. And again holding it up. Yo looking to wedge between defenders. Tassapali hangs on. High pressure again. Grant with a switch. Look out. He burrows low. Angela Murray, if she's not here, she's up off the lounge chair. A boy scored again in the green and gold of Australia. He's copped a blow on the way through, Murray, but he now has 2 tries.
That's 2 tries in quick succession as well, isn't it? It just looked all too simple. The little drop-off play. Markers on the other side of the ruck. I think it's Tassapali who's not working. He switches off, and in this game, when you do that, well, it has a funny way of finding you. It's a poor attempt of a tackle, isn't it, if I'm honest? And gets out there. There's a slipping back play, and Murray, he just gets underneath there, and it's far too easy. The yardage that they're making in the build-up to that. Isaiah Yo's been ball playing all evening. On that occasion, he decides to carry off the back of that. Then they're able just to do that little drop-off play, and it's too simple at the minute.
Yeah, you're right, Cole. I mean, they've been very game, but they would be disappointed with that. There wasn't enough commitment there to make the tackle. Goal line defence has to be a little more desperate than that.
It certainly does, yeah. Like I say, they were guilty of when Grant jumps out, that they thought that, you know, the other side of the ruck was that they could just have a play off, and And at this level, you just can't.
That's interesting. I just saw a flash of the coach's box. Tony Ray actually there on the left of Michael Cheika. He was actually my co-commentator when Lebanon played their first World Cup game in 2000 in Gloucester. In front of about 1,500 people when a blizzard hit and players ended up with hypothermia. Sniffer Ray, Tony Ray there. We sat outside in the rain. I remember there was rain going on with the broadcast equipment, the commentary gear, microphones, and I said to the tech, can this stuff blow up? The bloke said, we'll find out. Which was a most interesting experience in Gloucester. The rain was coming in sideways. So Tony Ray, he's had quite a journey in Lebanon on that day. The World Cup, they qualified for the World Cup back in 2000, beating Morocco by 104-0. Azam El Masri got 48 points. There's one from their history books.
Yeah.
Carrigan on the run.
6 again, too slow.
And now Brent.
6 again off the back of that Carrigan carry, and they they did this last part of this half. They're almost hanging on here. They really do need half time, but at 30 points to 0 down, just look at the speed there. They're away again. There's a chat. Oh, nearly.
Oh, this is a side really dialed in. Marky to Noose there.
Oh, good shot.
That's a tackle. Josh Mansour. Yes, he's got Cameron Munster, who's got a smile on his face because he knows that he's had a little rib adjustment.
Next, get that into your bang left shoulder.
It's the way he finished off the tackle. He drove him into the Huddersfield turf. So well done, John Mansour.
Been impressed with this guy as well, carrying the ball. Bazaz, such a little nuggety front rower, so difficult to handle as well. He played really good against New Zealand in the opening game, caused them a bit of trouble. In fact, he was singled out by the coaching staff as one of the best players that night.
Isaiah, good now.
There's a chance here.
He's got the ball away, and this is Tassapasi, 8 metres away from the line. A chance for a big shift to the right. Karaz knows it. Moses got it, kept it going. Now the ball with El Zarqam, and for the corner. Still a chance. Australia's defence from every direction. Knocked forward by Mansour. In fact, they will say knock on in there from the Aussies, I think. That was exciting from Lebanon.
Captain's challenge here, I think.
And James Tedesco's going to challenge the call.
Hey, mate.
Australia challenging decision of touching the air.
Yep.
Knock on.
So knock on or not, will Lebanon get a set of 6? Close to the Australian line.
Match director. We've got a captain's challenge from Lebanon. From Australia. Disputing the decision of a knock-on. Can I see all your available angles for the passes as we come wide to this near touchline? Just looking to see if it's touched by Australia.